I'm Philip Duncan with our second to last weather video of 2020. Thank you for joining us. We're tracking the remnants of what was Cyclone Yasa, but of course we're taking a look at the Christmas Day forecast for this Friday. Let's kick off with the animated map for Monday, and here is the remnants of what was Cyclone Yasa, no longer a tropical cyclone as it comes down into high pressure. The same high that gave us that lovely weather last week and sunny weather across the weekend in some parts of New Zealand. That same system now ripping apart that storm as it gets closer and closer over the next 48 hours. Wednesday will be when it gets its closest, just off the coastline here, but it's unlikely to get any closer than that because there is another system out here in the Tasman that's about to move through. In fact, it's going to bring us an unsettled Christmas Eve around New Zealand. But Christmas Day itself, well, you'll have to wait and see. We'll be up to that in a moment. But Christmas Day looks a little bit unsettled for about half of the country. So let's take a look in more detail for Tuesday. So we've got an area of low pressure crossing over the South Island with another one coming in behind it. That's the one for Christmas Eve. Meanwhile, the remnants of what was Cyclone Yasa very close to New Zealand. So the computer modelling 2 weeks ago accurately picked that system to be sitting right there. So that's pretty amazing. That was the GFS modelling that we often show you here. That comes out of America. So they nailed that about 2 weeks ago. The uncertainty was always whether it could make it just that little last bit of distance, because we've been smothered by all this high pressure, not just recently, but for 2 years now. Northern New Zealand has had a lot of high pressure. That's why it's drier than average. So the fact that this rainmaker is failing to come in and high pressure continues over the upper North Island, that is not a good sign for those who need water. It is a brilliant sign, however, for those who want to go away on holiday, not having a storm. So there's one positive that we can take out of it. But for the farmers, the growers, and water care in Auckland, managing the water crisis, which is still ongoing, this is not the forecast we want to see. We were actually wanting that low to come in and bring in some rain this week before Christmas. That would have been ideal. That's not the case. So we've got this system here, a little bit of wet weather for the lower North Island. Your rainfall totals look a little more normal. It's only really that top half that is going into the much drier than usual pattern. Wednesday, there's a bit of a breather around the country as that low fades away, and the next one in the Tasman, the bigger one, the main one, is building. So Wednesday, pretty settled around the country. The humidity levels lifting up a bit. Mild nor'westers coming down over the North Island and westerlies elsewhere. The remnants of Yasa just here, very close to Northland and Auckland and Coromandel, but it is not even close to a storm. We were more interested in this red line. That's the tropics. North of that is tropical air up there. Very close to New Zealand, very warm on this side. Had it moved a little bit further to the west, we could have ended up with a big, wet, tropical nor'easter. That is not the case. So instead, you'll notice the clouds build on Wednesday with some rain there. Now that rain crosses over New Zealand on Thursday. This is, of course, Christmas Eve. The remnants of Yasa, just a little circle up here. The rest of the country is covered in rain or showers as that front and the low attached to it, 990 hectopascals, as that all moves through. And behind it, a bit of a cooler change, and that is kicking off where we're going to, heading into Christmas Eve and Christmas Day itself. So on Christmas Eve, the nighttime part of it, you will find most of those showers breaking away and clearing. So it may not be overly wet by the evening time, which would be quite good news. A lot of people do outdoor things on Christmas Eve. But here is Christmas Day itself. To me, not much of a surprise. We live on 2 mountainous islands in the roaring 40s. So to have a windy sou'wester coming up across the country doesn't surprise me a lot. In Auckland, it'll be a bit cloudy, windy sou'westers coming through, around about 30 k's an hour. Not too strong, but it's just a little annoying if you want to sit outside or if you're in a tent. Just a little bit windy up there. Elsewhere around the North Island, the place to be, Gisborne, Hawke's Bay, Bay of Plenty, Eastern Bay of Plenty. Those areas are likely to be into the low to maybe mid-20s. In fact, even up in inland Gisborne, mid to late 20s possible, so a hot day for you. The western side of the whole country is looking a bit cloudy. The wettest weather, clearly you can see here, Southland, Otago, Canterbury, you're the most likely to see those showers. The west coast might see a few, especially in the afternoon through the mountains. And the temperature drop, you see the blue line, we were talking about the red line a moment ago showing the tropics. Now we're seeing Southern Ocean air coming on in. Daytime highs on Friday, on Christmas Day, in Southland and Otago, coastal areas. 12 to 14 degrees is the most common number that I'm seeing, or the common spread that I'm seeing, 12, 13 and 14 degrees. There's also a dusting of snow on the mountains high up, but yeah, it'll be a little cool in the south as that system comes through. Canterbury's even, mid to late teens, not overly warm. And the western side, even up into the North Island, a lot of 18s, 19s, 20, 21. So not the hottest of days, not the most settled of days, although it won't be very windy on this eastern side. Even Wellington doesn't have very much wind around, but it might just be a little cloudy again, for Christmas Day. All right, into the weekend just quickly now, and we get to Boxing Day. It's still a bit wet. That southerly change still trying to move up the South Island. Canterbury, you're even colder on Boxing Day. Now you have the 12, 13, 14 degree highs. Wet weather though, so there'll be a few happy farmers in the mix. A few showers for the North Island, windier, cooler sou'westers. Coromandel, Northland, a little bit windy if you're in a tent. Nothing major, probably not rip worthy, but you know what I mean. It's going to be a little blustery. The sleep might be a little bit broken on your first night if you're going away on Boxing Day. And then we get to the 27th and Sunday, this coming Sunday, still unsettled. This is a southerly flow around this unusually shaped high. So southerlies coming in across the country. The wet weather's on the eastern side. So Gisborne and Hawke's Bay got some wet weather potentially on Sunday and a temperature drop as well. Little windy still in the north, nothing too stormy, frustrating if you're in a tent. But the good news is this is high pressure, so there will be a bit of a break. The bad news for those who need water, not a lot of rain in this forecast for northern New Zealand. All right, well, that is all from me for today. We're only doing 2 videos this week. We weren't even supposed to be here. The reason why is the rest of the team behind the scenes who you don't see, people like Justin and Sean, those guys are taking holidays, of course. So we are going to make a couple of videos. Today's the first one. The next one will be on Wednesday, and then that will be it for us for 2020. So we will see you again on Wednesday for our next weather video.